All classic horror films have a good monster or ghoul that can spook their audiences. Casper the Ghost or the terrifying hauntings of paranormal activity can make for a great thrill and a source of entertainment for audience members. But some horror films go beyond using frightening creatures for just a scare. Rather, they use these monsters and ghosts as a strong mode for social critique and commentary. In Tracy Moffat's Bedevil and Bong Joon-ho's The Host, the directors used genre tropes like devilish beasts and hauntings to offer a deeper reflection into systemic issues within Korean and Australian society. The Host employs a monstrous amphibian to embody the horrors and consequences that American ideologies have had on Korea. The title itself reflects that Korea has been the quote-unquote host for the parasitic America to influence and inject neoliberalism and capitalism into its society. In just the opening scene, we can see this deeper anti-American sentiment personified. The birth of the monster is the result of an American directing his Korean counterpart to dispose the toxins into the Han River because they are quote-unquote too dusty. Though the Korean local warns him that such sewage would devastate his community, the man does not listen to him.
It's coated with layers of dust. Pour him into the sink.
Excuse me?
That's an order. So, start pouring.
The American sees the Korean environment and the people that live within it as disposable. As a consequence, the relentless, toxic violence of this beast wreaks havoc on the local people, killing many. The monster is an embodiment of the realistic horrors that America has inflicted onto Korea, as they have had massive risings in poverty and suicides from this deeply shifted social standard of success. Author Husu states, "The nation's inadequate welfare system, widespread unemployment, and unraveling social fabric suggest that, in economic as well as environmental terms, neoliberalism has transformed Korean citizens into disposable people. Austerity measures imposed by the IMF have not only decimated social services in South Korea, but also damaged its environment." But it is in the end of the film that the horror and reign of this monster is defeated finally, not by the wrongful and overbearing American entities like the CTC, but the Korean family themselves. The death of the monster offers a message of hope for Korea and their independence from neoliberal influence. But what happens when there's no one, no family, to fight the monster back? In the film Bedevil, the myriad of 3 horror stories showcase the complacency that white, non-Indigenous people have historically held while confronted of the tragedies and violence that Aboriginal people endure. In the story, Mr. Chuck, we see 2 white bystanders watch as the Indigenous children are tortured and killed by a devilish man. Yet they do not do anything about it. Rather, they observe and watch their suffering as a distant spectacle. Summer Hay states, "She not only deals with repressed stories, but also looks at the bewildered and bedeviled ways in which non-Indigenous and Indigenous Australians live with each other." Moffat draws on all aspects of our artistic practice in Bedevil, a film that shows how people are haunted by tired and sad secrets as they live through relationships that are marked by tolerance and goodwill, as well as by stupidity and malice. The film shows the girl years later, as she is now truly haunted by the atrocities she had witnessed, further reflecting the film's complex and still relevant message that both Indigenous and non-Indigenous Australians are haunted by colonialism and their own silence in its actualization. Remember that monsters can be more than scary. Thanks for watching.